everyone. I hope life is treating you kindly. I'm Lubomira, and thank you for joining me today. Welcome to all my friends, new and returning. I always look forward to this time of the week when we get together for some crafting fun. If you're new to my channel, I'm glad you found your way over here, and I invite you to check out more of my videos. I love sharing my projects with you all, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend some crafty moments with me. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. By hitting that little bell, you'll get notified every time I post something new, and you won't miss out on any of the crafty goodness. This week, I'm sharing a fall-themed beginner and kid-friendly card that uses almost only Dollar Tree items. There's no coloring or stamping involved, and it uses up those scraps I know we all have. I'm excited to share this card with you, so let's get into the video. To create this card, I used 2 Dollar Tree rub-on transfer sheets and some paper from the Dollar Tree paper packs. I was at the Dollar Tree last Friday, and I was so excited to see these rub-on transfers. Things are being moved around, and the Halloween items are disappearing, and fall and Thanksgiving things are being delegated to a single display. I wasn't expecting much, but I was so happy to find these rub-ons. I had been on the hunt for them for a while. They've been around for a couple of years, but this has been the first year I've been able to get my hands on them. They go on beautifully. To apply them, I removed the protective film from the back and placed the entire sheet onto a piece of white cardstock. Now you can just pick and choose which images to use individually instead. When doing a larger area like this, I find it easiest to run the transfers through the die cut machine. I sandwich the transfer sheet and a piece of paper. I just use the transfer backing sheet between 2 cutting plates, and then I run the whole thing through the die cut machine off camera. Since learning this method, it's my favorite way of applying rub-on. Once I had the images transferred, I cut them out off camera. Next, I went ahead and created some strips using some of the Dollar Tree paper scraps from the paper packs. Over time, I've collected several of these packs, which I keep consolidating as I use them. These paper packs are going to have different types of paper, both in color and texture. As the Dollar Tree gets more of them in, they have more choices, each shipment adding variation. I created about 1/4 inch strips in coordinating colors of greens, blue greens, and oranges using my trimmer. I created more strips than necessary for this single card. I prefer this because it gives me options when actually using the strips, just in case I don't make a clean cut or if the measurements seem off. Once I had my strips, I glued them to a white card panel using liquid glue. To keep my panel in place, I like to secure it with tape in the back so I can work freely without the panel moving. I didn't really have a plan for how to lay down the strips, but I ended up putting them diagonally. Diagonal stripes are always safe since they don't require the strips to be placed straight. That's why they make a great element to try for beginners and kids. After gluing down the strips, I removed the panel from my work surface and trimmed the overhang using scissors. I used a scrap piece of vellum to add another layer to the card without completely obstructing those pretty stripes. The panel was about 4.5 by 3.25 inches, basically a standard panel cut down by an inch from the top and the side. To give the vellum a more finished look, I rounded the corners using a corner round punch. I added the sentiment thankful to the middle of the vellum. I used a rub-on from the various Dollar Tree word rub-on set and cut it out off camera. Since I had only the one word to apply, I used the scoring tool from my scoreboard to apply it instead of running it through the die cut machine. I removed the protective backing and applied the rub-on to the vellum, then added pressure as I rubbed the tool over it. Working with vellum can be tricky since it's translucent, but in this case it actually worked to my advantage. The rub-on was very easy to place as I was able to see the lines from my mat through the vellum. To prevent the vellum from moving, I taped it down with some low-tack tape to my work surface. I placed the pumpkins on the vellum and attached them using foam squares. As I mentioned, vellum can be a little tricky to work with, especially when it comes to gluing it. Usually placing double-sided adhesive on the entire back creates a seamless look so you don't see the adhesive. I wanted to pop up the vellum, so I used the pumpkins and objects in front to hide the squares in the back. I first attached the pumpkins to the front of the vellum and then flipped the vellum over once they were in place. I added the squares on the back of the vellum in the exact same places as I did the first layer of foam squares. Not only does this attach the vellum to the card front, but also adds stability for the pumpkins to sit on. I also added a few scattered leaves in the same way, giving stability to places that I didn't have the pumpkins. Before adding the vellum to the background panel, I glued the stripe panel to a white card base. Once the base was finished, I attached the vellum panel to the front of the card. Now this card definitely calls for some sparkle, so to finish it up, I added some iridescent drops for some added interest. And that's it for this card. This card came out very pretty without any complicated techniques. I love how these rub-ons look, and I feel like the general theme of this card is appropriate for this time of the year. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like we're too eager to get to the holidays. I always laugh when I see those graphics poking fun at how the minute Halloween ends, Christmas songs start getting played on the radio. My brother and I have been having a debate for weeks now about a house on the corner of our street. They had put lights up at the end of September and they were green. My brother said that it was too early for Christmas, to which I responded that maybe they were decorating for Halloween. Green, after all, can be a Halloween color. He of course gave me the stink eye, as both he and my husband do when I come to defend someone other than them. As we got closer to Halloween, the lights did get more and more Christmassy, to which I was in denial. Of course, you'd think that the Santa projection on the side of the house right before Halloween would have ended the debate. I saw it as those people being very thrifty. Who said you couldn't dress up as Santa for Halloween and then using it for Christmas? That's just being cost effective. My brother didn't seem to agree. Now, in this whole debate, what both of us failed to point out is that there is another holiday stuff in between. Poor Thanksgiving is only remembered during the trip to the store to buy groceries to earn that free turkey, or when making travel arrangements to grandma's so that you can avoid the traffic. It's all about Halloween and Christmas. Now, I shouldn't be one to talk since last week's card was a holiday card, and I'm not going to pretend that next week's isn't going to be a holiday card, but this week's card celebrates gratitude. I have so much to be grateful for. Life isn't perfect. It can be hard and maddening at times. It can also be surprising and joyous. Each day is a gift and not a guarantee. And with that, my friends, I thank you for spending some time with me today and making this one of my favorite parts of the week. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did sharing it with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I really do look forward to your comments. They always manage to make me smile. I hope you'll join me next time for another project. Until then, have a wonderful week, and I hope life treats you kindly. Take care. Bye.